It's the 3rd of June, which means it's time for Buddy Check 3. Now, it's a reminder for you and your buddy to do those self-exams and other checkups to catch breast cancer early. Lisa Rose shows us the effort to make breast cancer screenings even more available to women in the Ozarks.
Mercy Hospital has what's called a high-risk breast cancer program for patients here in the Ozarks now. It's for people with the very biggest risk factors for breast cancer. There are people who live in fear of getting breast cancer because it seems to run in their family. Now they can find out for sure if they really are at high risk and get a customized plan to stop the cancer or catch it in its earliest stages. If you're worried about being high risk for breast cancer, this is still where you usually start, with regular mammograms. But these days, it's not the only screening you'll get on even routine visits here at Mercy's Breast Center. The detailed surveys patients fill out are also turning up important information that could result in being offered and even swabbed for a genetic test while you're there for a mammogram.
We discovered there's a lot of ladies out there who are at risk that had no idea they were at risk, and that's the important thing, is identifying those people. You know, that's what we're trying to do at the breast center.
For decades, Dr. John Bunbury has specialized in breast cancer surgery, but now his office has also become the place to go when genetic test results have identified you as high risk for getting breast cancer.
There's different ways to be at risk. It could be your family history. It could be because there's a mutation running through the genes. It could be because you've had a breast biopsy that showed some atypical changes or something like that.
For Catherine York, family history initially raised her concern that she was in that high-risk category.
And I finally came and saw Dr. Bunbury, and I ended up having a gene mutation. So that predisposes me to risk for breast cancer, pancreatic cancer, and possible ovarian cancer.
Family history and genetic test results estimated Catherine's risk for breast cancer at 60%.
I felt that that was too high for my comfort level, and I've got 2 small kids that I need to be here for. So I did the surgery.
Catherine had a double mastectomy, and as a nurse practitioner, she now works with Dr. Bunbury and counsels other women at high risk for breast cancer.
Hello, how are you doing? It's obviously where I was meant to be. I love it. And just being able to help the women through this process is awesome because they need that. It's a scary process.
Treatment for high-risk patients is customized according to medical calculations from factors like gene mutations and family history.
If you have a BRCA mutation, your risk of breast cancer is about 80, maybe 85% in your lifetime. If you have a 20% risk, you're still high risk. Both of those ladies are high risk, but there's a big difference between the two. So a lot of ladies will start with screening, and we'll usually get an MRI on those ladies initially.
High-risk patients will be followed more closely here. Many will be seen every 6 months with increased mammograms and a yearly MRI. All ways to stop cancer in its tracks.
If we test that lady ahead of time and find out she has a BRCA mutation and we follow her more closely, if she does get cancer, we'll catch it at an early stage where it's not nearly as far along, and she'll do better. Or we might keep her from getting cancer in the first place by taking care of it beforehand.
Dr. Bunbury says it's also good to let people know that they are not high risk for breast cancer. Genetic testing has been a big relief for some women when they find out they don't have any gene mutations, even though someone in their family had breast cancer. Don't forget to sign up for Buddy Check 3 so we can all remind each other to follow the guidelines for catching breast cancer in its earliest, most treatable stage.